Hello everyone, welcome to the chemistry guide. In today's class, we will learn about the KOSSEL-Lewis approach to chemical bonding. I am explaining these topics from NCERT textbook for class 11. This KOSSEL-Lewis approach is explaining how and why atoms combine to form molecules. So the first approach in chemical bonding is KOSSEL-Lewis approach. It is given by J.N. Lewis and KOSSEL in 1961. They have started the reason of stability of noble gas. The stability of noble gases is due to the octet rule. What is octet rule? Atoms gain, lose or share electrons to attain 8 valency electrons, achieving a stable configuration like noble gases. It means to have 8 electrons in valency shell, or in some case they can attain duplet. That is, to have 2 electrons in valency shell. For example, it is applicable for hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. To rest of the each and every element want to attain octet. That is to have 8 electrons in their valency shell. For example, helium configuration is 1s2 and neon 2s2 2p6. Outermost shell is completely filled. Next, argon 3s2 3p6. Similarly, krypton atomic number is 36, configuration 4s2 4p6. Again 8 electrons. Next, xenon 5s2 5p6. It is also have stable configuration with 8 electrons. Next, radon 6s2 6p6. 8 electrons, outermost shell is completely filled. All the noble gases except helium, their outermost shell is completely filled and they have attained octet rule, or they have no tendency to lose or gain electrons. Hence, they exist independently. And in case of helium, its duplet is complete. Hence, it has no tendency to form bond. They can exist independently. Now, each and every metal and non-metal wants to attain this noble gas configuration through the transfer of electrons to form ionic bond, or by sharing electrons to form covalent bond. Now, Lewis has given some symbols known as the Lewis symbol. These symbols represent an atom's chemical symbol surrounded by dots for its valency electrons. For example, in case of lithium, only 1 electron is present. Then, in case of beryllium, 2 electrons are present. And boron has 3 electrons are present in the outermost shell. Then carbon has 4 and nitrogen has 5 and oxygen has 6 and fluorine has 7 electrons in its outermost shell. And all the noble gases, they have 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So, the Lewis symbol represents the 8 dots. What is the significance of this dot? First of all, they represent the number of valency electron in the outermost shell. Second, number of valency electrons help to calculate the common or group valency of the element. What is the group valency? The group valency of the element is generally either equal to the number of dots in the Lewis symbol or 8 minus the number of valency electrons. For example, group 1 elements like alkali metals have one valency electron. So, their group valency is 1, like lithium, and group 2 elements have a group valency of 2, like beryllium. For group 13 to 18, group valency is calculated by subtracting the number of valency electrons from 8. For example, group 17 elements like halogens, we will take chlorine. Chlorine have 7 valency electrons. So, their group valency is 8 minus 7 equal to 1. So, their group valency is 1. Next, group 16 elements like oxygen. Oxygen have 6 valency electrons. Their group valency is 8 minus 6 equal to 2. Some of the facts which are stated by KOSSEL. According to him, the highly electronegative elements like group 17, we can say halogen family is separated from highly electropositive elements like group 1 or alkali metals by the noble gases. So group 18 is present in between these two groups. For example, fluorine after neon and after sodium. Fluorine is electronegative and sodium is electropositive. These are separated by noble gas neon. Similarly, if we are discussing the potassium and the chlorine, these are separated by argon. Second point, he stated group 17 elements, or we can say halogen family, will form the anion. Similarly, the group 1 elements or alkali metals, they can form cation. They form an anion by the gain of electron, and they form a cation by the loss of electron. Now, the third point, while forming the anion, for example, chlorine, by the gain of electron, it forms chlorine ion, meaning configuration changes into 3s to 3p6. That is, its outermost shell is completely filled, or we can say it can attain an octet. Similarly, sodium loses one electron and form sodium cation. And while doing this, it can attain noble gas configuration. We can say it achieved its octet. There are few exceptions in which we are discussing the duplet. Otherwise, each and every element attain the noble gas configuration by the lose or gain electron in order to achieve the octet. Now these negative and positive ions stabilized by a force of attraction, that is known as the electrostatic force of the attraction. So the Coulombic or electrostatic force of the attraction which holds the oppositely charged ion together is called the ionic bond or electrovalent bond. So, the charge present on ions which is responsible for Coulombic or electrostatic force of attraction. For example, we will take NaCl. In this case, sodium configuration is 281 and chlorine configuration 287. Now, this one dot will transfer into this chlorine and forming the Na plus and Cl minus ion, or we can say NaCl. that is the electrostatic force of the attraction is binding it, and the bond have between them is known as the ionic bond or electrovalent bond. And as both ions attain the noble gas configuration, Na plus achieve the neon gas configuration and chlorine has achieved the argon configuration. And next example is calcium have the configuration 2882 and fluorine configuration is 27. So it loses 2 electrons to attain the noble gas configuration of argon. Similarly, fluorine gain electron and forming neon gas configuration. So these two examples show the formation of ionic bond in an atom. Now sodium plus ion is formed from sodium. Ionization energy is play an important role. Similarly, when from the chloride is formed by gain of electron gain enthalpy is played an important role. And after the formation of ion, the attraction between them is released and energy is the lattice energy. These three factors which are controlling the formation of ionic bond, I will discuss these factors in the next video, and please subscribe the channel. Bye bye.